Hello everybody and welcome back. We're looking at question 7 on the grade 12 Manitoba Math Contest from 2009. So question 7, a traveler at A wishes to reach B. To get there, he must walk 6 blocks, traveling only on the streets in the diagram. How many possible routes are there? Okay, so 6 blocks. The only way he can get from A to B is if he doesn't make any loops or anything, just using 6 blocks. Typically when a question like this pops up, and there are questions like this out there, there's a lot of them, typically when it pops up, it's, he can only go from A to B by walking, east and south in this case. But, I've seen other ones where it's north and east. They limit the directions, and that's just to force A to go to B very directly. Now, in this particular question, they've just said he walks 6 blocks, so he has to walk 2 over, 3 down, and 1 over. So eventually he's going to go 3 east and 3 south. If he takes any more, if he goes north at any point, if he goes west at any point, he'll take more than 6 blocks. And I think that's the first thing we want to note. And other than that, this is a fairly standard question, so if you've never seen one of these before, I will show you the general technique for how to do it. Usually, as I say, it's sort of a grid like this. I say usually, when I find the question out in the wild, it's usually like this. You want to go from A to B, and you can only go east and north. Those are your options, but you're allowed to pick and mix when you go east and north. Okay, so my first observation will be, there we go, from A down to B. So to get to B by walking exactly 6 blocks, this also, again, they never actually told us what a block is, but I'd say it's pretty clear what it is here. In exactly 6 blocks, we can only walk east and south. Okay, so we never have to worry about walking north or west. We're never going to backtrack. And you might say, well, no, it's not backtracking to do something like, down this and this and this and this, and then over, and then down. I mean, that still gets you from A to B, but it's not 6 blocks. It's really circuitous at that point. Okay, and actually, I think I'm going to draw our picture a little bigger, so I can better illustrate this technique if you have never seen it before. So we want to go from A to B, and we know we can only walk east and south. We have clarified that in the question, or in our answer. It wasn't entirely clear from the question. Okay, so starting at A, we have a choice to either walk east or south. Okay, if we walk 1 block east, there's only one way to do that. You pick to walk east, and you get to this point here. Alternatively, we've got one way to go south. So if the question were go from A to C, the answer would be one way to do that. Now suppose instead the answer were how do we get to C over here? Well, we could go east and then south. So from here, there's only one way to go south, and from here we go south, there's only one way to go east to get to C. Adding those up, there's 2 ways to get to C. Down and over, or over and down. Okay. So, let's clean this up a little bit. So there's one way to get here, one way to get here, 2 ways that we could get here, just walking east and south. Okay. Now there's one way I can get here, and that's walking double east. Same one way to walk down here, that's by going south twice. But now, how about getting here? Just by walking east and south. Well, we could come all the way down here and then go over by 1. So that's one way. Or any of the 2 ways to get to this point and then walk south. So there's going to be 3 ways to get here. And in general, the number of ways to get to any particular point, say this point, and if there were A ways to get to this point and B ways to get to this point, there will be A plus B ways to get to this point. All the unique ways that go to B and then south, there's no choice there, or all the different ways to get to A and then walk east. Okay, so that's how we sort of fill up this picture. So we can do it really quickly. 1 plus 2 is 3. Now, this point over here, this corner point, there's no way to approach it by coming south. So it just gets all these 3 ways with an extra east tacked on. So, oops, no, that's not 3. Not yet. You have to be careful the order you fill this stuff in. This one down here will be 3, but this one here in the middle will be 3 plus 3, 6 ways to get here. 9 ways to get here, 9 ways to get here, and then in total, we have 18 ways to get here. Now, there are other ways to do this question, but I don't think they're quite as elegant, because you could do things like, okay, east, east, south, east, south, south. That's one way. Okay, east, south, east, east, south, south. That's another way. You're not going to find a very nice way to list them all out. But building up a chart like this, and just about everyone who's marking will have seen this, so this requires, very minimal explanation. As long as we have the condition we have to walk from east to south, explaining how this chart is filled out is really all you need, if that. Then there are A plus B ways to reach here. Right, but our final answer is 18 ways to get from A to B. And that's what we were asked for, so that's it. So in the next video, we're going to take a look at question number 8. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you there in the next video.